Hi everybody, it's Cathryn from In the Pink Designs. I have a new project today with a new bundle, Carousel Horses, which I do love. I made a box that measures 3 3/4 by 5 by 1, and it opens like this. Okay, and inside it says happy birthday. I didn't put anything in it, but let's see what will fit. Definitely 3, and you have a little bit higher. 3 glues will fit in there. An ink pad will fit in there. And the Tuxedo Black, of course. Let me see if... Nope, not your take your pick tool, but you can get kind of an idea of what will fit in here. I used, of course, the Carousel Horses stamp set and the Carousel Horses dies. I used almost every die, I think, but these two. Okay, we need for this project a piece of bubble bath cardstock that is 10 by 8.5. I'm using the Countryside Inn Designer Series paper for the background, and we need 2 pieces that are 3.5 by 4 3/4 for the front and the back. 2 pieces that are 3/4 by 4 3/4 for the long sides. 2 that are 3.5 by 3/4 for the short sides. And 1 piece that is 3.5 by 1 1/4 for right up here. We also need a scrap of bubble bath to do this pole here, to stamp the pole. We need some basic white for stamping. And I cut out already some of these pieces. Now this piece here is actually this die, but I just cut off most of it. I just left a little bit on there so it would be easier to glue. And I cut 2 more pieces of basic white to fit in right there and there. I cut one of the bottom pieces and the piece that goes over it at the bottom, and this piece that's going to cover up right there. All of it out of bubble bath except for these 2 extra insert pieces that are basic white. So this is my host code if you're going to purchase anything on my website and your merchandise total, subtotal, is less than $150, please put that in. I'd appreciate that. And I'm going to get my Simply Scored, and we're going to start on the 10-inch side, and we're going to score at 1, 4 3/4, 5 3/4, and 9.5. And then we're going to turn it to the 8.5-inch side, and we're going to score at 1, 6, and 7. Okay. Now I'm going to fold and burnish all of the score lines. Okay. Now, I have it so the skinniest rectangle is on the right, and there are 1-inch strips on the left and the bottom. And this is what we're going to be doing. Okay. All right, so we're going to start on the bottom left. We're going to go to the first score line, cut it to the first score line, and wedge each side of the square. Go to the next score line, cut it to the first score line, next score line, cut it to the first score line, and wedge each side of the square. Okay, we're going to go to the next score line, cut it to the first score line, and wedge up a little bit into that skinny rectangle. Okay, now we're going to turn it to the other side, and we're going to go to the first score line, cut it to the second score line, and wedge up into that skinny rectangle. Okay, go to the next score line, cut it to the second score line, next score line, cut it to the second score line. We're going to get rid of this rectangle that's on the bottom and wedge each side of the square. Okay, now we're going to go to the next score line, cut it to the second score line, and we're going to take these two pieces off, and I'm going to take off the score line with it. Okay. Then we're going to take off this rectangle at the bottom and wedge each side of the square. Okay. Now we need a corner rounder, and this piece that sticks up the highest when your skinny rectangle is on the right, we want to round both corners of the top. Okay, and that's what your cardstock should look like after you're done scoring, cutting, and rounding those corners. All right, now I'm going to get my tear and tape, and I'm going to put it on what's left of the skinny rectangle next to the score line. I'm going to take your pick tool, and I'm going to take the backing off. I'm going to flip over the whole thing, flip over the side with the tape, and flip the other side to meet it. Now this is our back here, so we're going to push the sides in. I'm going to get my glue. We're going to put a tiny dot of glue on each of the tabs, and we're going to pull the back flap in and then put some glue on this one. And then just make sure that the sides are nice and straight with each other. Okay, now flip it over. Take your pick tool and make sure those two sides are adhered on the bottom. All right. And that's your box. All right, now we need our DSP that I set in the front in the beginning. 3.5 by 4 3/4. 3/4 by 4 3/4 on the long sides. 3/4 by 3.5 on the short sides. And then this piece here is for the top. So we have to round the bottom. See, it's going to sit like this. So we have to round the bottom of one of the long sides. So there and there. And then we're going to attach that right on there. And this piece is 3.5 by 1 1/4. All right, so I'm going to attach all of this with liquid glue. Okay, now that's our box with the paper on it. All right, now we're going to do some stamping. Okay, so we need some basic white. And we're going to stamp the horse in Tuxedo Black. And this is the largest horse we're going to do. Okay. And then we need this stamp, which is the tail and the mane. And we're going to be using Bubble Bath. Well, this is a little bit tricky to get, but it doesn't cover exactly everything. So if it's a little bit off, it really does not matter. Okay. All right. And then with Boho Blue, I'm going to do the saddle and the saddle strap and the neck piece. And that's this stamp. I'm just going to put that right there. Good. I'm going to put some hearts on his leg, and we're going to do that with Bubble Bath also. And there's 2 sets of flowers, and this is the larger set. Okay, now we have to do the, if you want to put the happy birthday inside, but you don't have to, but we're going to do that. So I'm going to put that, do that with Boho Blue, and then also the happy birthday with Boho Blue right in there. Okay. And then the last thing we have to stamp is the pole. So we need that little piece of Bubble Bath, and we're going to use Boho Blue Ink again. And we're going to just, whoops, cut that out. All right. And I'm going to cut out all of these, and I'll be right back. All right, now here's the horse and the happy birthday and the pole. All right, now we need all these little bits. Okay, let me get my mat. I'm going to glue this piece and this piece together. Now it could go either way, I guess, but I like it, I don't know which way I like it better. In the catalog they put it this way, so that's the way I'll put it. So we just need a little bit of glue on the bottom of this, and then I put a little bit on that. There we go. And then I'm just going to cover that with this. Yeah, that's good. All right, and then I'm going to stick, just for now, I'm going to be putting a little bit of glue right here and right here where this piece shows through, and I'm just going to lay these in because it's harder to get them in when you already have this attached. So I'm just going to take these 2 pieces. And I cut them with the white ones. I had to cut out a whole top again to get the white. If you want to just keep them all the same color, that's fine too. All right, and that is the top. Okay, now what we need to do is we're going to glue this long skinny piece right at the bottom. And the long skinny piece is attached to this piece. It's not attached after you cut it, but the dies are attached. All right, if you can't find that one. And then the other one we're going to put on the bottom is this piece here. I just left a little bit of the DSP showing underneath it. And then this piece I'm going to put up on that edge a little bit. Okay, and then we need our pole. There it is, and actually the pole probably should have been stuck in first. But it's okay, we can get it under there. Or you can, if you did do what I just did, you can cut it a little bit shorter if you're not able to get it under there. Right in the middle, and then just pull it up straight. Make sure that it goes up nice and straight. There we go. Okay. Now, we're going to do the horse after. Now we need our piece. And I just had it so that there's a little bit of DSP showing above the top of this piece. All right, and then I glued it except for this much. So I just made a little bit. I just made a mark that I can erase, and I know to put glue only above that. So I'm just going to do a line of glue here. And I remember to put some on the back of that white because it's only secured by that little bit. Okay. Actually, it's better if I do it this way because then I can see the line. Okay. All right. And while that's drying, I'm going to put some Velcro dots. One right there. And these are 3/8 inch low profile adhesive Velcro dots. All right. And I'm going to put the other one on top, adhesive up. Okay. Then I'm going to put my two stamp heads in so that I have something to push down on so I don't push down on the box. Yeah, 2 stamp heads fit nicely in there. And then I'm going to make sure that the sides are nice and even. And then I'm going to push down. Okay. And then reinforce those and reinforce those. And there you go. I love how that is. All right. And then I think this one, because I'm not doing this one for a birthday, I'm not going to put the happy birthday in there, but that's where it would go. All right. Okay, so then close it. And then we're going to put the horse on like that. So we need some dimensionals. All right, I'm going to put one there. One right there. One over there. One there. And one down there. Okay. Okay. Then I'm going to put it on a slant like there we go. Is that good? Yeah, that's good. Just like that. Okay, and I'm going to open it up and I'm going to put some glittered organdy ribbon right through the inside like that. And just close it nicely. And then I'm going to tie a bow. Okay, and then I'm just going to clip off the other end. All right. It feels like such a nice package with those 2 ink pads in there. All right, and for the final touch, I'm going to use some Rhinestone Basic Jewels. And we're going to put 3 small ones up here on the top. Oh, I missed one over here. And then 3 medium ones, or it fell off, I guess. 3 medium ones right there. And then 3 more medium ones right here on this piece. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, my email is below, along with the link to my shop. Please use the host code for any purchases under $150, not including tax and shipping. And my blog is also linked below that has all of the measurements. All right, have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.